Good morning. Welcome to our My Jong Longhorn Pie program for this Wednesday morning, first class of October. And we have been working on the foundations of the My Jong system, sort of connecting to Tam Tuey. But today we're going to start to look at those connecting movements that we looked at, but we're going to start to introduce the movements of the first pass of the 12 passes of Tam Tuey. Okay, so we'll settle the feet in the ground, just take a moment, loosen up the neck, and looking from side to side, and shoulder to shoulder. A few half circles. Good. Shoulders can go back. And shoulders can go forward. Arms can circle backwards. And arms can circle forwards. You're going to reach and lean to one side and to the other. Again to the first side and the second. Arms can go loose and wrap around the body. We've been using this as an opportunity to connect rotations in the spine to different angles in the striking. So we've got our horizontals. Those can be our elbows, hook punches, swinging hammers. There's lots of things here, slaps with the palms. Then we can go into our downwards diagonals. So we're cutting down. Again, we can be hammering. We can be chopping. We've got rising diagonals. So we're turning through that center point. Yeah, we've got downwards wheeling, elbow strikes, hammers again, tears, claws, palm edges. We can go rising, palm strikes, index, like the ridge hand parts of the arm. And then as a good coordination, we roll both one direction and the other. And then the other way. Good. And we can shake it out a bit. Let's warm up the hips. Let the hips roll one way. And around the other. One more time, the first way. And the second. Legs inside to outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Outside to inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do some shoulder to shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands behind the head, cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And we'll shake it out, feet together, knees around one way and around the other. Quick wake up for the hamstrings. We'll stretch down and roll to come up. Okay, from here, let's work a little bit on loosening up the hip, the quad, hamstring with a bit of an active stretch. We're going to go hands over the head. We're going to swing up and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, do the same on the other leg. Hands up. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. We'll stretch down towards the ground. And same to the other side. 1 forward, 1 back. Stretch down towards the ground. Two feet forward, lunge to one side. And to the other. Back to the first side. And the second. Now we're going to roll back, lift the toe. And same on the other side. Good. Both feet forward, push out on your knees, squat in, kind of rock your hips a little bit. And come on up. And shake it out. Okay, most classes we're going to start out with some of the good foundational calisthenics of the my Jong system, getting those coordinated movements from center, thrusting against the ground, spiraling through the spine and out into the arms. So let's start out with our punching drills. So feet a little wider than shoulder width. We're talking about that squat and push kind of motion. We want elbow to scrub. So we're trying to train our body out of raising the elbow for our straight punches and allowing that elbow to stay low when we punch. So 1, and then we grab and punch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Second version is that scoop under, pull in, punch out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, and we can walk it in. Let's keep up with the same drill that we've been doing from our foundations classes as a warm-up and getting that idea of being able to snap the hip from side to side. So this is where we're going to really twist through. So we're punching out from the back leg. We're lifting, pulling in, thrusting from the front, and driving out. So lateral punch, through, narrow for the square, drive back lateral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And come on up. Okay. One of the other ones that we've been doing as a foundation, this is definitely going to show up in the set as well, is this grab, pull, punch and kick, step back punch. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change legs. Grab with the back arm. Wind up, turn through your trunk. Pull in, push out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And we'll shake it out a bit. Let's finish up our warm-up and foundations with those two postures we were talking about that were sort of that are connecting our linking movements. So the one was this back of hand, palm, punch. And one of the things we want to have in the end is quite quick. We're looking for speed. We want to sink in and feel like this hand's kind of jumping into that place. So I'll turn my back and we'll do some from side to side. Back of hand, palm, punch. Back of hand, palm, punch. 1, 2, 3. I'm turning the torso for 1 and 2. I'm settling back for 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the second thing that we were working on was sitting in the lateral with our legs, but kind of squaring around with our torso so we could throw a hook punch, pull down, punch. So we're going to go from side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, the last thing we worked on was this big open stretch. And we were working on a stepping in and lead arm hit, learning how to drive and step into place with that lead arm. Now, again, because the long fist work on calisthenics, we have this nice big open frame. So we're going to go from that position of punch, we're going to pull the hand to the hip, and we're going to step out and punch out. So we're going to go 1, punch, back in, 2, draw and punch, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at the work on that shoulder that we're leaving up. We're strengthening it. We're working on its range of motion. We don't see it going the other way in the set, but it's always good to balance things out. So pull. And this gives me the idea that when I want to wind up to throw a jab, I'm not going to give it away by showing that I'm pulling back, but I'm knowing how to kind of scrub that elbow across my body in order to throw that punch. So 1, step back, 2, punch that out, back, 3, 4. And we want to get a thrust from the back leg. We're pushing out of the back leg. That's what's driving this punch. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. So there's a lot of the foundations that we've been working on, getting that feel for shifting lateral and square. I think it's time to start looking at Tam Tuey number 1. So each of the passes is going to be a collection of a half dozen or more movements that are practiced one side lead. So typically left lead, right lead, left lead, turn around and do the next pass on the way back. So each time you turn around, you'll be putting this. So the full set is 12 passes. So number 1, we're going to be starting, and I'll start with my back turned over here. So our opening to the set is to settle the arms that classic idea of Gong Fu and karate and stuff as well, of emptying the mind, connecting to ground, taking a breath, preparing. Battle is not just about punches and kicks. If we can't get the mind settled and the emotions under control, we're not going to be very effective in our fighting. So right off the start, the whole idea is you stand, you take a moment, take a breath, calm yourself down, center yourself, find your feet, top of head suspended. From here, our first movement is our back of hand palm punch. 1, 2, 3. Our next movement is our opening lunge punch that we were just practicing. Pull back and step out. So we're in that narrow forward bow stance. And our first movement is going to be to shift into a horse rider stance and pull our left hand across in the front. So I've kind of got my hand in line with my sternum. From here, we're then going to strike down. And we were talking last week about these kind of windmilling techniques. So I'm going to come through, arms are kind of neutral in the middle, and then I'm going to swing my arms up. So these are the calisthenic ideas I was talking about, of being able to turn your trunk, settle in your hip, keep your shoulders low. We do a quick around and back fist high. We settle that. Now, like our kicking earlier, we do a low kick now with the front of our foot to toes. Boom. And now we're going to lunge into that lead arm punch. So now this is our right leg forward part of this. So with right leg forward, we're going to shuffle back, pull in. We're going to stay in the horse and drive down. We're going to pivot through to that narrow forward as we swing the arms through, one up. Then we circulate, back fist high, settle, kick low, and back to left side. Pull in, strike down, come up, back fist, settle, kick low, punch out. Now, this is going to set us up for our turnaround. Our turnaround, we're going to shuffle up with the back foot as we get our palm coming in, and then we're going to punch back out. Now, if we were following the set, we would move into movement number 2. We're going to stay with movement number 1 for a few passes today. So how did that start? Left leg steps out to that lunging forward punch. We shuffle and pivot in our hips, and we draw that arm across. We stay there and smash down. Now we twist through the center and drive up. Then we're going to circulate down and up for our back fist. Settle and kick. Load up that arm by drawing a bit in the insides and lunge. Now we do the same from the right leg start. Pull in, smash down, drive up, come around, back fist, settle, kick low, punch. We do the left side one more time. 1, 2, smash down, 3, twist through, 4, back fist and settle, kick low, lunge punch, right leg forward, shuffle up with your back leg, palm, settle in with that back foot, punch. And then we can take it back the other way, which is what we're going to do. So let's go for a couple of passes back and forth with this one today. We'll go nice and slow for a couple, and then near the end, we'll try to pick up the speed just a little bit. So 1, 2, 3 starts us out. Pull, lunge left foot forward, punching out. Snap the hips to the lateral and draw across. Smash down, come through and up, spiral, back fist settle, kick, lunge punch. Pull in, smash down, twist through. You really got a crease in that front hip and turn your trunk around. So we're really stretching out those insides. Back fist, settle, kick, punch. 1, 2, 3. Back fist, settle, kick, punch. We're going to shuffle up. So we're going to turn. We need to get our front foot turned in so we can get to the lateral, and we need to slide our back foot in. So we're stepping, shuffling, punching. Couple more passes. Draw, punch out, pull in, smash down, twist through, back fist, settle, kick, and punch. Pull in, smash down, twist up, back fist, settle, kick, punch. One more time. Draw, down, twist through, back fist, settle, kick, punch. Turning the right foot in, we get a little bit of a step up and a shuffle in. Palm, punch. Pull, step, left punch. Draw in, come down, wind up, back fist, settle, kick, punch, pull in, smash down, come through, back fist, settle, kick, punch, draw in, come down, come up, back fist, settle, kick, lunge punch, shuffle up, palm, punch. Nice. So that's getting our basic shapes. Again, like we were talking about in the foundations classes, how one of the things we're trying to learn how to do is go from these kind of narrow squares where we're squaring up and getting these nice reaches to these rolls back. And we're using the legs. We're thrusting to go one way. We're thrusting to go the other way. And that is really in our first couple of movements here, where we step out long and then we draw in. A good form should have these calisthenics for coordinating, challenging the mind, challenging the memory, challenging the range of motion in the body, integrating the range of motion in the body. We're not trying to make a punch and then a pull and then a swing of the arm. We're really trying to learn how to coordinate pressures and thrusts against the ground that spiral kind of through the spine to create these. So we were looking at one earlier where we were kind of pulling back and punching out. Now we've got this twist in. So let's look at just a couple of potential things that this is teaching me how to use this arm. So a very highly effective combination with your lead arm is a jab hook combo. Now, yes, in the set, we're really, we're settled and we're down, we're into that stance, we got the arm up, we're not going to fight like this. This is what's building up shoulder strength, building up range of motion. Now what we want to think about is one, and then I use that front foot to help twist me over. Now, can this be something other than a punch? Absolutely. Elbow. So I could have punch and elbow. And again, I don't have to go to the extremes of the stance work that I'm using in the set. Those are for coordination and timing. But I can get this idea of stepping in. So I'm moving in, and then boom, I'm coming around. Whether that's a hook punch, whether that's an elbow. Oh, but there's a lot of throwing and grappling. Any movement should be able to do several things. It should be able to be percussive, it should be able to grapple, and quite often lock as well. So what could we be doing in terms of a lock? Well, or a grapple. So I'm thinking about here I've slipped into punch, and now what I'm going to do is I might underhook, come around somebody's arms, under their armpits, and I might slip this leg in and throw. Maybe that all started with somebody behind me a little bit. And what I've done is I've kind of pinned their arms, or I've trapped their arms, and I'm twisting and rolling into place. So we can think about it as a throw. I'm getting hold of something, I'm sneaking my leg in, and I'm throwing. So I could be hook punching, I could be elbowing, I could be scooping and throwing, I could be getting to the back of somebody's head and throwing as well. We don't always have to be on those straight lines. So I'm snapping, but where am I getting my power? I've taught myself how to get that power from being in the lead leg and then pushing out of that to make that power. In that lead leg, and boom. Let's look at the next piece of the puzzle, or actually, let's stay with that one more time. In pummel grappling, where people are trying to get control of your arms to move in for throws and takedowns, this is one of the basic grip releases, where what we do is we pivot around that forearm and elbow and we clear somebody's grip from our hands. We're clearing that off. We're clearing. So if we're in a situation where someone keeps trying to bind and grab, we can get these rotations to help us clear it off. And instead of just trying to pull with our hand against a grab, we're creating fulcrums in their own grip. And we're driving the elbow from the power of the legs. So we can be grip releasing. Now, the next piece of the puzzle, what did we have? We had punch out, pull in, smash down. That can be as simple as using a forearm to deflect low attacks, coming over something, smashing down on top of it, smashing down on top. So we're driving something away. This could be learning how to use the hammers to strike. Now, just because in the set we have one level for this doesn't mean we can't use that same idea to be hook and slash. Hook across, pull in. We could be pounding down towards, liver or spleen. We could be hitting to the solar plexus up to the jaw. We've got this kind of hinging motion, 1 and 2. Now, this one has a lot of throwing potential as well. So we'll just have a quick look at that, and then we'll have to kind of shift out for today. So we were talking about stepping around and drawing in one way. This one is about stepping behind and pushing across. So we can slip in a leg. So watch how this is the wind up. I'm here, I'm grappling with somebody, and now this movement wasn't even about striking, it was about getting my arm into position for throwing over that leg. I could stay like I do in the set in the lateral, or I could turn through. And so my leg is in behind the other person's. I've snuck in. So see how that motion, that bringing it across, sneaks me in for a position to kind of throw and check. What do we get next? We'll talk more about this next week. So once we get that down, we've got this really interesting rising and falling motion. And we're going to have to leave that for next week as we look a little bit more at section number 1 choreography, and we're going to start to look at also a bit of section number 2 starting next week. But today, we got to finish. Thanks for training today. Okay, we will see you next week. Stick around if you've got some questions, text or email if you're catching it from the archive. Talk to you all soon.